Spinning.
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone, actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I guess I picked the right intro.
I was going to say, that was perfect.
Good deal. Good deal. Hope everybody's had a good week. So
we're going to blame Tully for our minute of lateness because he forgot to set the intro video for us.
He did 100%. That's all his fault.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't know what he does in the background and stuff, so we'll just roll on.
Oh yeah, hey, it's all good. It is all good.
All right.
So how are you doing? You been okay?
I'm doing swell. Just
Good deal.
swell.
Good.
So you've had a pretty solid week, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
I will say I finally went to this McDonald's again.
Yeah.
They got everything right. I was like, what?
Somebody saw our show and went back and told them.
It only took them like 45 minutes, but still.
Well, last time it took them 45 minutes and you got the wrong order.
Yeah. I mean, it turned out fine.
So, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you want to get started with the Friday Feel Good, or do you want
I
me to
will. I've got a Friday good Feel Good, or I think it's a Feel Good. You know, some people may not. So there was this gentleman. His name is Frank Tavares. He was born in the Dominican Republic, but for 22 years of his life, he lived as Sister Margarita in 2 different convents, posing as one of the nuns there without anyone suspecting anything. So this unusual story of the nun man, because that's how people are referring to him now, began when he was 4 years old. He and his family were involved in a serious car accident that claimed the lives of his parents. Well, his grandparents were too poor and ill-equipped to deal with the child, so he was placed in the care of the nuns of a Dominican convent. Tavares recalls that, okay, disclaimer or trigger warning.
Yeah.
As a young boy, his genitals were so small that even he had trouble finding them.
I understand how that is.
Which is probably why he was raised as a girl at the convent. He wore girls' clothing, adopted the habits of the nuns, and became fully engaged in the daily activities of his new home. He said it wasn't until about the age of 7 that he realized that he was male and not female, but he continued with the charade to avoid them throwing him out. So after 22 years, he finally came clean and told them, you know, I'm a man.
Wow. How did he figure it out, you think?
Well, he said he was around 7, so I don't know if, maybe he developed a little more around 7. Or maybe he never did, I mean, that,
I wonder why he decided to come clean. Like what prompted it, I wonder.
Right, because a lot of convents, you're every person is separate. You would never undress in front of another nun, and everything. So, I mean, I don't know, unless his conscience got the better of him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a unique story. That's a feel good, I guess. Well,
it's not a feel bad.
It's not a feel bad. The one Tully has is a funny one. I actually seen this one when I was about ready to add it. But a UK court finds men who stole a $6 million toilet. $6 million toilet. They found them guilty. Yeah. It turns out that the porcelain throne was made of gold. At least that's what the vision behind the Italian artist Maurizio Catalan's artwork titled America, created in 2016. The installation featured a fully functional toilet cast in 18 karat gold. Doesn't like Kid Rock have 18 karat gold toilet?
I think so. I think Trump's got gold toilets at his house. And, I like something a little more practical.
Yeah. I feel like a gold toilet, I think, will just be cold all the time.
Right.
I've got one. I went last time we had to buy a toilet seat when I broke ours. I bought one of them fancy ones that goes. It's soft, it's nice. I like it.
Well, I have heard recently during COVID, one of the girls that I worked with got married during COVID,
Yeah.
and the new spouse was a little more well-to-do than the prior one was. Hey,
Yeah.
Linda.
Hey, Linda.
And she said, because of the toilet paper outage, he is an engineer, so he had bidets put in.
Well, yeah.
And she says, and we've never gone back. That was the best investment we ever made. So I'm like, really? Because I just always wondered. Because yes, she does. And the thing is that the company and the company bathroom will be full, and she'll go, oh, use mine. And then after that, the person wants to always use hers because of the bidet.
What's up, Easy Mac?
Easy Mac.
A bidet. We also bought a bidet
Yeah.
during the pandemic, and it's the best purchase I ever made in my life. I actually purchased one for something we did at work, like a gift exchange for somebody, and when I gave it to them, I was like, I'm never going to use this.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, give it time. You won't be able to live without it. The last time they brought it up, they was like, it's hard for me to use the bathroom without one. I was like, yeah.
All right. Well, I will rethink the whole bidet thing.
They're amazing.
So that gold toilet though.
Yeah, the gold toilet is initially displayed at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York City. I guess I mispronounced that. And later, the Blenheim Palace in the United Kingdom, where it was stolen in 2019. How could they steal an 18 karat gold fully functional toilet? That has to be heavy. Like,
one would think. Definitely would think.
Anyway, this week, 2 people that were involved with the theft were convicted in the UK court. They got caught. The original heist took place in September 2019 when a group of thieves used sledgehammers and crowbars to remove the toilet from the floor at the Yorkshire's historic Belem Palace. It reportedly took them under 5 minutes to escape with it. Man, they were working hard.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
I like that they worded it as a luxurious latrine.
Yeah. It's on Tuesday, Michael Jones, who was 39 years old, like me, was found guilty of burglary in the British court for his role in the theft, while Fred Doe, that sounds like a fake name,
I agree,
was also found guilty, but he was found guilty of conspiracy to transfer criminal property.
So, hey, they're the age of you and Tully, right?
Well, me, yeah, Tully's a little younger.
Okay, but Fred Doe's 36. I thought that's how old I thought he was.
He might be. Tully's somewhere between 30 and 43, I think. I don't know.
He's I know a little bit over 35 because he's a little bit older than my son is.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
And there was a guy named James Sheen who was also credited with coordinating the plan. He set up the plan and everything. He pled guilty to burglary, conspiracy, and transferring criminal property. The toilet was a $6 million toilet, and it's not, and it has yet to been recovered. That's insane. A golden toilet. I wonder what they did with the toilet. Did they melt it down, you think? And try
they would have to, because I can't see walking into like a pawn shop and saying, hey man, what can I get for this gold toilet? But taking just like a chunk of gold in there, that wouldn't, I think, call as much attention. I mean, it would, but they couldn't say, I think I found the people that stole the toilet.
I wonder if it has any weight specs on here. It doesn't have any weight of the toilet. I wonder how much that toilet weighs. Fully gold functional toilet. If I would have stole that, I would probably end up using it. I'd be like, you know what? just to have it as a talking piece,
Well, for $6 million, I think I'd have pawned it off. I mean, because like I said, I have no desire to sit on a gold toilet.
No.
But the thing is, they said that when it was installed at the Guggenheim, visitors were encouraged to interact with it fully. Okay. This is sitting out in the middle of a museum.
What do you plunge it with?
Right.
You gotta be soft with it, right? Like, I don't know.
I would think, because 18 karat gold's not quite as flimsy as 24 karat gold, but still, you know, that's, I wonder why he chose to call it America.
Because we're golden.
Is that it? Okay. All right.
we're the best. Duh.
You know, I'm sorry, Easy, but I don't want a smart toilet, and it all comes down to the fact that the last time I bought a washer and dryer, I got smart washers and dryers, and it takes flipping forever to do one load of wash because it self-balances. So, you know, whereas in a regular washing machine, if it's a little off balance, it just says screw it, and you hear tut, 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 tut. This one does not. It spins it, and then goes, okay, let's check it now. And it'll run. And then if that's not good enough, it goes back.
I would love to have a smart toilet. I want one that calls me your grace every time I walk in there. It's like,
you know, Siri will call you that if you tell her to. Yes,
that'd be fun.
because my son, when he got his first iPhone, that was his thing, was coming up with interesting names for Siri to refer to him as. And that's the only time he ever used Siri was he'd go, hey Siri, and she'd go, yes, most auspicious one. And he'd just chuckle and turn it back off, you know.
I don't know. Like the bidet thing though. I mean, it's
my
a life changer. It is a life
That is a good question, Landa.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yes, Easy Mac, just a plain old. And I looked at them the other day at Home Depot, and they do still sell them. So probably, I hate to get rid of a functioning washer, but I have a gut feeling it's not going to last another year because I just want to push it out the back door.
Ours started leaking water, and we just changed the setting on it, and it quit. And we was like, "Hey, we fixed it."
Hey, there you go. Take it wherever you can get it. You know, that's the thing.
So,
okay.
what do you have that you want to go over next?
All right. So, pyramids.
This is nuts. Have you
heard? Right? I had not heard this until Tully sent it.
This is
so
great.
Radar scans revealed a massive underground structures in the Giza Plateau. A groundbreaking study using advanced radar technology has revealed a vast and intricate underground structure beneath the pyramids of Giza. Scientists Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa and Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde used synthetic aperture radar tomography to scan the Khafre pyramid and found a subterranean system that extends approximately 2 kilometers beneath all 3 pyramids. The Khafre Pyramid is the second largest structure on the Giza Plateau. Their scans showed 5 identical structures near the base of the Khafre Pyramid. These structures contain multiple levels, were connected by geometric pathways, and beneath the pathways there were 8 vertical cylindrical wells which were encircled by descending spiral pathways that stretched down up to 648 meters, ultimately merging into 2 massive cube-stack structures, each measuring 80 meters per side. That is flipping huge.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find a picture of it because it's everywhere. And like I seen it, I guess it was yesterday before I even came on here. I was going to talk about it. It looks, if that's what's under there, what was it? Because it looks like it has spiral staircases going around the pillars that are underneath the other 5 structures that has a huge pyramid on top of it. It's insane looking.
Well, you know, they've always speculated that there was something underneath the the Sphinx.
Yeah.
But they've never really deep dove into it like they have this, you know, with this kind of radar and stuff. But there was a video released by the Reese Report that said that these discoveries challenged the long-held belief that the pyramid served solely as royal tombs. Now, I'm going to stop right there because did they ever find a pharaoh in a pyramid?
No, it's always empty.
Yeah, that was my thought too, because I'm like, I cannot remember them ever. They found them off in, you know, the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
Researchers previously speculated that the underground network may have had a mechanical or energy-related function. The idea is similar to the theories from well-known figures like Nikola Tesla and Christopher Dunn. Of course, everybody knows who Tesla was, but
Yeah.
he believed that the pyramids might collect and use the Earth's natural energy. Christopher Dunn, I'm not as familiar with him, but he was an engineer and a writer, and he had a different idea. In his book, The Giza Power Plant, he said that the Great Pyramid might have been a machine. He thought it could turn vibrations into energy that people could use. Mainstream Egyptologists maintain that the pyramids were built around 2500 BCE using conventional methods. The newly uncovered structures, along with mathematical anomalies found in the pyramid's constructions, have fueled debate about their true purpose. I also think that it really fuels the debate about how the hell they were made, because I just can't see.
Well, one of the theories I seen was that was a vibration plate. Like a massive vibration plate, which would kind of like it kind of explains how they would have moved all those stones.
Right, well, absolutely. I can get behind that, but there is a whole school of thought of, just all these people built it over time.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, the precision of these pyramids, not just the Egyptian pyramids, the pyramids all over the world. I just don't think we could get that good with today's technology.
I just want to know what's under there. And like Easy Mac said, they will not let anybody under the Sphinx. And it's untelling what they have there. Like there was some kind of prophecy or something that said one day they're going to open the paw of the Sphinx and it's going to release like something. It wasn't like catastrophic, but like some kind of knowledge, maybe. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I mean, there's a picture of the Sphinx. Now I couldn't find a picture for this, so I've been seeing it all day, but now it's already gone. But where it looks like you can open something behind the paw, like there's a slot or something. But it's really untelling. It's really cool. I hope they let them do something, but there's no way they're going to let them dig around that. No,
hell no. I mean, like I said, they've evidently been hiding something for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Sphinx prophecy. Let's see. Because he did the whole riddance. But the prophecy in its entirety is as follows: there are two prisoners. One is the master of his cage. The other returns home without power. The sins of the father are visited upon the daughters here and not here. New hero rises, but can be felled by the golden arrow. The wolf among you has many faces. When time fractures, darkness overwhelms, but the great destroyer of all is love. Not real. Yeah, I'm not any more knowledgeable now than I was before I read that.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
No, me either. But I was kind of into it. So
that's a good read. I mean, it's really interesting, and we're just never going to know. They're not going to let anybody dig around that. I'm surprised they let them do this.
Yeah,
I really am. They might have did it illegally. I didn't see what led to them doing it, honestly.
We're just going to take some pictures. Get your stuff out, man. Get your stuff out. Oh, we're just walking along. Oh, this is the newest camera. Yeah.
That's probably what it was, or something like that. Because for the longest time, it was really hard to even get close to the pyramids, like with the security guards and stuff. There's only been like 2 people in the king's chamber too. One was Aleister Crowley, and I think the other one was Hitler, if I'm not badly mistaken.
That just wouldn't even surprise me a little bit. Yeah. But so like I said, it's very interesting. I have a feeling the reason you can't find a picture is because they have been trying to take them down as quickly as they've gone up.
It looked nuts. Like the little buildings, from the way that people were interpreting it, were like, I don't know, they look like little castles, like the little 5s. And then it was just long cylindrical things with a staircase going all the way down it. It's weird. Oh, all right. The Ghost Adventures guy. This one blew my mind. This is a couple weeks old. It actually started back in like December, I think. But Ghost Adventures host Aaron Goodwin filed for divorce from Veronica Goodwin for good reason. Investigators said that she tried to have him killed with the help of a notorious Florida man convicted of murdering his family 6 years ago. She was communicating with this convict, trying to have Aaron Goodwin murdered. The following came after the authorities say Victoria sought to have Aaron executed via hitman in a sinister plot of tainted love involving the convicted murderer Grant Amato. She's going to be going to court on the 25th for a preliminary hearing. There's a lot more to it, but I mean, essentially that's it. She's threatened. She was trying to hire a hitman to kill this guy from Ghost Adventures.
Well, didn't they say she was like acting like everything was fine? I mean, it was like he had no idea they were even having a problem.
Yeah, they had pictures together like like a couple weeks ago. Like of him like, love my wife. Like
right.
until all this
I mean, you know, there are times I'd like to choke my husband, but they usually are fleeting, you know, thoughts.
Yeah. He did file for divorce though, saying there's no possibility of reconciliation. I agree with that. I don't think there would be any possibility of that either. She's being held on $100,000 bond. And of course she's just carrying on as the happiest wife ever in the world until it was found through text, I believe. Let's see, how did they find it? I believe they found it through like text and things like that. First off, who goes to a person that's in prison to murder somebody else? Like, every line of communication is monitored, isn't it?
Yes. But, you know, a thing that I never understood. Okay. Yes, exactly, Landa. Who sends messages like that to prison?
Yeah.
But I'll never understand. Okay, you know, I understand some people go to prison, they're married, you know, so they can have, you know, visits and stuff. But I actually knew somebody that was married 6 times while he was in prison. While he was in prison.
Living the good life.
Yes, so. But I'm like, you know, okay, you know, and you know, a couple of them were like through pen pal type things because this was back prior to, you know, the internet and everything. But, you know, and one of them was her son was in the same prison and they got to know each other. But still, the man was in prison for life for raping a kid. Who the hell goes, damn, now that's husband material there.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I believe that
true crime towns. I mean, that's what it is. Like, I don't know. Like, people get infatuated with these notorious people, and they're like, "Oh, I really want to know them." You know, I don't know. I don't see.
I get infatuated too, so I watch movies and read, you know, true crime books. But I'm not gonna. Hey, dude, let's hang out. You know, I don't get it. But,
they got married. They got married on the Haunted Mansion ride in Disneyland. By the way.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's very appropriate. You know, hello, Mr. Hill.
Isn't the top floor of the Haunted Mansion like where the woman murders her family?
I don't know. You might be right.
I think that's the case, and if that's the case, that's a premonition for sure.
Yeah. Maybe that's something to think about, you know. So, well, I got you an interesting one. You know, times are tough. I get it, but you know, in China, there are people that are desperate to get rich, and they're doing it by any means necessary. And one of the big ones that is up and growing right now is they're putting their faith in bags of bank soil sold online as wealth-bringing talismans. You know, bank robberies usually involve, you know, cold hard cash or gold ingots, but several Chinese banks have recently become the target of an unusual type of theft, that of the soil from their potted plants or from around their building being stolen.
Wow.
So there are several online shops that are in Asia that are selling small bags of bank soil as get-rich-quick talismans, and they can cost as much as 888 yuan, which is 120 American. And demand for this is like going up through the roof. Some sellers are boasting that they have a 999.999% success rate in generating wealth, while others are recording the harvesting process so that you know you're guaranteed that it is real bank soil.
Wow.
We need to come up with something, Cecil.
What? I mean, like the guy that came up with the pet rock got rich off that. I don't understand. Like, you just got a good idea.
The man and his wife in Florida a couple of years ago selling golden tickets to heaven, and they got them for fraud. And I'm like, hey, nobody twisted anybody's arm and told them they had to buy this.
That's true.
I mean, if you're, forgive me if I'm insulting anybody, but if you're dumb enough to fall for that, then you deserve what you get.
And how can
$10,000 a ticket?
How could they get them for fraud? How do they know it doesn't work?
That's right. That's exactly right. But that was the thing is $10,000, and you were guaranteed that you would be forgiven for any and all crimes because you had that golden ticket.
If only I could get $9,999 more dollars.
I'm like, wow. You know, if I had $10,000, there are a lot of things I'd think about buying, but a golden ticket to heaven is not one.
Yeah, I'm the type of poor where $10,000 would change my life.
Right? Hey, I'm still insulted because my income is not a grain of flipping rice. You know.
But that's wild.
Anyway, yeah.
Bank soul. That's funny.
Bank soil. You know, next time I go to the bank, I may just reach down and get a rock or something while I'm there and carry it with me, and I'll tell you whether or not. You know,
oh yeah, that'd be fun. Get bank rock.
That's right. And when I hit the lottery that weekend, I'm gonna tell y'all it was the bank rock. It was really a talisman. I'll send y'all one.
There was an Australian woman who narrowly avoided jail Monday. And the reason is she had plans to sell on the black market 2 human toes. Now, where did these toes come from, you may ask? She worked at a shelter for animals, and a dog regurgitated the toes in the shelter.
Wow.
Now, come to find out, Jonna Catherine Kinman was her name, and she wasn't at the animal shelter. She was not at the animal shelter in the southeast of Victoria when the dogs vomited it up, but later came on and found these 2 toes. And her get rich scheme was, I'm gonna sell these toes on the black market. So
I'm assuming there's a call for toes on the black market.
I'll say there's a call for everything on the black market for sure. So
you're probably right.
Like, where's that one country where they have the toe in the whiskey and they take shots of it or whatever?
Ew. Okay, you know, I don't know why I'm saying ew. I was invited one time to drink from water that was over the bones of a Tibetan monk one time, and I did it. So I guess, toes, bones. Yeah.
But this the dog had actually been brought to the shelter because the owner had passed away. And the dog was found, chewing on it. So that's where the toes came from. But I thought that was interesting. Like, that wouldn't be my first idea. I wouldn't be like, hey, here's some toes. I'm going to try to sell these. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that would be like 911. Like, yeah, this dog just upchucked their toes. Maybe you should send somebody.
I guess that's why I'll always be poor. Things like that just don't hit me.
Yeah, same. I think about stuff after somebody else has done it. I'm like, damn, I've been doing that for years. Why didn't I think to market that? Not selling toes, but other stuff.
They did a Looney Tune test with a Tesla. Did you hear about this?
Looney Tune test?
Yeah. So basically, they painted a wall to look like an open road to see if the Tesla would actually notice it.
Did it fail or pass?
Without moving an inch.
Oops. Let's go ahead and watch it.
Right, awesome.
This is funny. Let me turn it down a little because that was loud.
The question was if the Tesla would detect it in time to step on the brakes. And it turned out... So I can definitively say for the first time in the history of the world, Tesla's optical camera system would absolutely smash through a fake wall without even a slight tap on the brakes.
That's awesome.
love it.
Could you imagine that? Like that's what's going to end up happening whenever Teslas become like the main vehicle or these remote cars. People
Mhm.
just want to be that's going to be the new prank. Like, hey, let's paint this wall.
Yeah, you know.
I thought that was funny.
That is hilarious because, again, not something I'd have thought to do, but, I have so much respect for somebody that can paint that well.
Oh yeah.
Good job. And that just made my whole weekend. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
Looney Tune stuff.
Yeah. Did you hear about in Serbia about the sound weapon deployed?
I did.
Yeah.
Does he have the
Said-
video for that?
I think he has a video for it. Yeah.
Go ahead and talk about while I look
Okay,
that up.
so about 100,000 people took to the streets in Belgrade last Saturday in what has been described as Serbia's largest ever anti-government protest. The rally, driven by university students leading months-long demonstrations against President Aleksandar Vučić, I'm assuming, saw tensions escalate as police reportedly deployed an LRAD sonic cannon against demonstrators.
Mm.
So, according to broadcaster Vicegrad24, the device, which emits an ear-splitting sound of up to 160 decibels, was used while students held a 15-minute silence to honor the victims of a fatal train station collapse that sparked the movement. One unverified clip appears to show protesters scattering after the weapon is used. Mr. Vučić later claimed that 56 people were injured and 22 arrested. Police denied using the sonic cannon. Assisting such a move would not have been in accordance with the law. That it? Okay.
Let's see. I hope this is it. They don't seem like they're protesting much.
So it was during a moment of silence, is what they said. So that's why they weren't talking or anything. But
oh wait, this one's better.
Okay.
This is Wall. Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think would cause that? It's like some kind of wind, wouldn't it, or something? What was that?
I have heard planes do that during. Have you ever seen the Blue Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're watching them, it'll get like that whistle when the wind hits just right. Not to that loud and everything, but so I don't know. But
that would confuse other cars for sure.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the sun reflecting off that?
Oh God, I've gotten behind a few trucks that have those highly polished aluminum back doors. Oh, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, they did not do that because that would be against the law, and the government would never do something like that against their own people. And they said that tensions escalated further after a man drove his car into protesters in a Belgrade suburb, injuring 3 people. And then they had a counter demonstration, which included ex-paramilitary and football hooligans that had been camping outside his headquarters in a show of support. Now, Mr. Vucic has dismissed the protest as being orchestrated by Western intelligence services, but he has not been able to give evidence to support that claim.
I mean, we got all kinds of stuff like that. They had them. Somebody brought it up the last week. I'm pretty sure they have a poop gun that'll make you poop yourself. Like, they got the heart attack gun. They got all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And they use sound. They use sound to make people physically ill. Like,
yes.
So
at a certain decibel, it will definitely make you very sick.
Yeah.
So.
And so it's not beyond belief that they have this. Like, at this point, I believe they have anything. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's like I said, if we knew a quarter of what they had, what was it? I think you or Tully sent a couple of weeks ago something about if it was a conspiracy, why is there a patent for it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I mean, they have patents for everything like that, like just the weirdest shit you can find. And if they have a patent for it, they've made it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
because you make that to protect your invention, so that means it's been invented. But it's amazing how so many of those patents, we don't actually have anything functioning.
Yeah, like we don't have the water engine, the engine that runs off water,
right.
Even though the guy made it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't bring that one back. But anyway,
there's not enough money in water.
There is. You could. Yeah. I mean, my water bill was $58 last month.
Well, I have a well. Knock on wood. They're trying to get rid of our wells, but until they do, I will have mine till the bitter end.
Oh yeah, I do miss having a well. I grew up with a well. It was awesome. Didn't have to worry about it. Didn't really freeze up much either.
No, it's very rare that I have to worry about it freezing. We do have a high iron content, so I do have to put filters on it. Otherwise, every time you get in the bathtub, you're going to be in a big puddle of orange. But, that's not even a game changer. You can still use enough soap to get clean.
Ours was calcium. Sometimes it smelled like rotten eggs.
Raw eggs. Yeah. I have never had that here, but like I said, it does have, because we used to have a fiberglass bathtub, and it had a constant yellow, orange, ring in it. And it didn't matter what you used, it did not come off.
Yeah.
So, lesson is don't use fiberglass. Move up to acrylic and you will never have that problem again.
Yeah. I really just want to take out mine and just put tiles everywhere and just
I've seen those.
Shower head.
Well, a lot of the tiny homes and RVs, they actually have the toilet inside the shower.
That's a game changer. Why don't we do that? I'd knock two birds out. No.
Yeah, Mo and I go in rounds about that when we talk about getting a tiny home for after we retire. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's my drawing line. I do not want my toilet in my shower.
You could definitely spend a lot more time together.
That's the problem right there. Here's one that you'll find interesting. So a video has been going around on Chinese social media that appears to show a humanoid robot malfunctioning and erratically attacking the crowd at a festival in Tianjin. The footage shot during the Tianjin Winter Gala Festival in February shows one of several unitary H1 humanoid robots seemingly attacking a spectator who had extended their hand out for a handshake. Instead of responding to the gesture, the robot starts displaying erratic arm movements and aggressively rushes towards the crowd before being pulled back by security guards and what looks like a robot supervisor. The H1 then appears to calm down before the video cuts off. But the violent outburst, that raises some concerns about autonomous machines around people.
I mean, that's going to happen. It sounds like it just bucked up on him. Like, I'm going to take out in the yard, bro.
Okay, I don't have any like Siri or any of that kind of stuff in my house. I don't have an Alexa, none of them, because I've determined that they're listening all the time. And that's going to get me caught if anything ever happens to my husband, even if I'm perfectly innocent, because I threaten him regularly. I don't need proof of that. But
I joke a lot. I joke too much. Like,
see, exactly.
like
Exactly.
when we're in, even when we're in Kroger, like I'm like we'll just be standing there talking, and somebody walks behind me. I'm like, I told you not to talk to me like that. Wait till I get you like, and maybe
Right.
just chuckles. She's like, oh, stop it.
Right, exactly. And Mo and I are the same way. It's like, hey, what? We'll whoop your ass, motherfucker! Don't make me beat you in front of all these goddamn people. You know. But and there at least once a month, I'm like, don't make me kill you.
Yeah, I don't.
And
that to her.
you know, I mean, oh, I do, because there are times that he makes me want to kill him. So that's my response, and I don't need that recorded. So, you know, I'm going to be Will Smith and iRobot when it comes to the whole robot home units.
I'm suspicious of Mandy because she's literally the sweetest human being I've ever known. So I know she's like harboring some ill will.
She's that serial killer you find out 20 years after she died.
Yeah,
you know, that she had bodies from one end of the state to the other.
Yeah.
Our mountain that you're saving for us, that's where she's storing the dead bodies.
Yeah, probably. She does disappear for hours on end sometimes.
Yeah,
anyway.
you know.
There
you go, Landa.
In terms of I thought that was a movie. Let's see. I mean, I guess we can start wrapping this one up. I'm not gonna lie. Tully's always, because I've suggested that we move this to like 9:30. He's like, you never make it to 9:30 tonight. I think he'd be right. I believe he's accurate. Because I'm about ready to fall out. I think that's weird.
Oh, that's all right. I get it. It's called age catching up with you.
Yeah. But thank you all for tuning in. And tonight on Weird Awakenings, you guys are covering what?
Weird Scotland.
Weird Scotland. Weird Scotland. There's a lot of weirdness to Scotland, that's for sure. Yep. So tune in on Weird Realities Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. And come back and check us out next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be covering the same stuff. I believe Tully's out next week too, Annie. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was tonight and tomorrow night, and then he couldn't do anything next Saturday night.
Yeah, I know he's getting a colonoscopy today. And no. But thank you all. Now I gotta figure out how to get us out of here.
Well,
let's see. All right, yeah. So thank you all for watching us, because we are watching.